So today we have the honor of having Will Geary, who I have had the pleasure, and teachers have had the pleasure of knowing since you were in kindergarten, Will, when he arrived at Montgomery School. So he was sitting up here just like you kindergartners, and now it's his time to be up here. So some things about Will. Who are Will's buddies? Let's see, third graders. I can't see. Oh, Clay, that's your buddy? Okay, cool. Anybody else? Was there another one? Eno, Will's your buddy? Yeah. Yeah. Eno, you're everybody's buddy, I think, right? I'm sure a lot of you could raise your hand to say that you're Will's buddy. But Will is very creative. He's very talented with art, with technology. He is always respectful to his teachers. I think all lower school teachers who have had Will would agree with that. He has a good heart, always not afraid to speak up. When he sees something happening that isn't right, he'll be the one to say, that's not right, and that's really not always easy to do. And we really appreciate that in you, Will. Brilliant, dry sense of humor. 8th grade, agreed? Yes. A friend from California who knows it's your chapel day today wrote me and said, Will can never fail to make someone laugh. So I know she appreciates that about you. Will has been in the cast of the musical in 6th grade, and in 7th and 8th grade, he has been a really amazing part of the tech crew. So all the special effects and sound and lights are part of Will's talent, so we really appreciate that in Will. Will has run cross country in 6th and 7th grade. He played soccer this year and has done the Maker Lab also in 6th and 7th grade. So he's had a busy time while he's been at Montgomery, and we've enjoyed every minute with Will Geary. So Will, come up and give your 8th grade chapel.
Hello students, teachers, and faculty. My name is Will Geary, and today I'll be talking to you about the lessons I've learned from watching The Office. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what that is, it's a TV show that takes place over a span of 7 years at a paper company called Dunder Mifflin, located in lovely downtown Scranton, Pennsylvania. The show is filmed in documentary style at times, and most of its story happens in a large open office space, thus the title, The Office. The Office began production in March of 2005 and ended in May of 2013. And even though there are no new episodes, you can still watch it on Netflix. Let me introduce you to some of the characters. There's Jim. Jim is a cool and humorous salesperson for Dunder Mifflin who likes to play pranks on his coworker, Dwight. Dwight is also a salesperson whose desk is right next to Jim's. Dwight is an intelligent yet annoying employee, and when he's not at the paper company, he's taking care of his family's beet farm. Their boss, Michael Scott, is an offensive, rude, inappropriate, yet caring boss of the Scranton branch. And in every episode, he does something that makes you cringe. The receptionist, Pam, is sweet and smarter than anyone gives her credit for. There are several other employees who round out the cast: Angela, Kevin, Oscar, Stanley, Phyllis, Andy, Ryan, Creed, Meredith, Kelly, and Daryl. Although I began watching The Office because of it's so funny, I soon realized that there are valuable lessons to be learned from it. The first lesson I learned from The Office is to always respect people's boundaries and others' personal belongings. Jim is very fond of playing pranks on people, and the pranks are typically hilarious. For example, one day Dwight comes into work and opens his desk drawer to use his stapler, only to find that his stapler is completely encased in Jell-O. On another day, when Dwight goes to the office vending machine to buy a snack, he finds the contents of his desk, including his wallet, his mug, his rubber band ball, his nameplate, and all of his pens and pencils are for sale in the vending machine. On another day, Dwight arrived at work and found that his desk was not in its usual spot. Instead, Jim had relocated Dwight's desk to the men's room. Although these pranks can be hilarious to watch, the person whose stapler is inside of Jell-O may feel differently. It's good to joke around sometimes, but when it becomes annoying, you have to know when to stop. Pranks can be fun, but you have to know the limits, and it's important to be respectful of other people's property. The next lesson I learned from The Office is to be sensitive. Michael, the boss of the office, is extremely insensitive to his coworkers. He always makes fun of them and makes inappropriate jokes at their expense. But he is unaware of this and is usually not consciously trying to hurt the person he's insulting. He really doesn't know that he is offending his friends. He often stereotypes people. I don't even want to give you any examples because I don't want to repeat what he says, but trust me, the things that he says are racist, sexist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, and the list goes on. As a result, he has at times offended every person in the office by some thoughtless comment, and so his coworkers wind up hating him. The lesson here is obvious. Always be sensitive to your friends and coworkers so you don't end up like Michael. Lesson number 3 is that people are complex. This basically means that you should not judge a person solely on the basis of their negative qualities, but rather look at the whole person. Michael has some horrible qualities, but also really cares about his coworkers. Some people are like this. They can be annoying, but also really caring. Michael genuinely wants to be a good boss and friend to his coworkers. He tries to bring them all together as a group. One of his ideas is to give out awards to all of the employees called Dundee Awards, so that all of his employees can feel good about themselves. But some of the awards are worse than others, like the Don't Go in the Bathroom After Me award, awarded to Kevin. You can see that the awards given by Michael don't wind up making his employees feel happy or proud. Michael does try hard to be a good friend. In one episode, he travels from really far away to show up and be the best man at Dwight's wedding. Dwight is overjoyed. In another episode, Pam is exhibiting her work at an art show, and although the office is invited to her art show, no one shows up except Michael, who comes and compliments Pam on her art. So never judge someone because of what they do wrong, but rather look at the whole of who they are. Another lesson is never make a promise you cannot keep. In one episode, Michael visits some underprivileged students and promises to them that he will pay for all of them to attend college. But surely enough, when the kids turn 18, Michael doesn't have the money to send even one student to college, much less the entire class. Needless to say, the students and their families were beyond disappointed. In another episode, Dunder Mifflin Paper Company decides to save money by downgrading the workers' health care plans. So when Dwight selected the worst and least expensive health care plan possible, you could imagine his coworkers were not happy. To cheer them up, Michael said he had a big surprise that he would give to his employees at the end of the day. When the end of the day came around and Michael was empty-handed, his employees were really upset with him. Keeping your promises is a way people know you're trustworthy. Never make one you can't keep. Another valuable lessons I learned from The Office is that you should always follow your dreams, but have a backup plan. For example, Andy is a manager at Dunder Mifflin who is a talented singer and musician. He decides to leave Dunder Mifflin to become a performer. He goes on an audition for American Idol, but the judges reject him. When his dreams came crashing down, he doesn't have a plan B, and left with no music career and no job. Fortunately for him, he ended up being able to get a job back at Dunder Mifflin, although not as a manager, as a salesman. So by all means, follow your dreams. Remember though, that you always need a backup plan. Sometimes your dreams don't work out the way you hope. So even though my parents told me that I was watching too much TV, that I should be outside getting fresh air and running around, I was really learning some valuable lessons by watching The Office. So remember as you go about the rest of your day, respect people's boundaries, be sensitive, people are complex, never make a promise you cannot keep, follow your dreams, but have a plan B. Thank you, have a fantastic Wednesday.